What's going on, guys? Marcus here, Team Sorcery. Here with Adam, about to do a deck profile on his Pricia deck.
Hello, I am Adam.
So we'll just hop right in.
Alright, what up everybody? This is Snorlax, say hi. So, as you know, my J-Ruler is Pricia, the Beast Lady. She's very nice. She's the green J-Ruler out of 7 Kings of the Land. She has a J-Activate for 2 wind. She has the Grim Effect for Sacred Beast, where you can pay any will attribute of any type to cast Sacred Beast. So you can pay red and cast the blue one, or whatever other will for any opposite one. And then her only other ability is you pay 2 green, target Sacred Beast gets +1/+1 to the end of turn. Doesn't really matter, but it's still a fun little thing that she can do. J-Ruler side, she's an 8/8 base, Pricia, the commander of all the Sacred Beasts. If I control a light Resonator, she gains target attack. Fire one, I gain swiftness. Water one, I gain flying. And if I control a green one, she gets +2/+2. So it's pretty good when you have board state. There are enough Resonators, or at least green ones, where she's usually coming out as a 10/10, at least, and that's not even with the Regalia, so it's pretty powerful. Her God Art is... what's the name of this thing? I never say. Summon the Sacred Beast, of course, something simple. You pay 3 wind and then X, and you search your deck for X Sacred Beast, add them to your hand, and then you put them into play. So they'll all get their effects. Ideally, if you do it all in one turn, you'll need 9 mana, 2 to J-Activate, 3 to pay the cost, and then ideally, if you don't have any, you would pay 4 to get the green, red, the wind, fire, light, and water. In order for her to get all of her skills off, because then she becomes a really relevant attacker and just something for people to deal with. So she's pretty good. I love the fact that I got the stamped version. Shout out to Roy. He's also on the team, so hi Roy. I'll go into the stones and then I'll go into the main deck. So I run 10 basic stones, obviously. The Feethsing, the Holy Windstone, protects Resonators and J-Resonators from being targeted by normal spells. It's just good against like Thunders, Demon Flames, other types of removal or bounce effects. All in all, just a good card. 2 Magic Stone of the Moonshade. Taps for Moon, or pay 200, you can tap for one of any color. It's your choice, obviously, from the colors, not tap and you produce all 5. This card is really good late game, or just like post J-Activation when she's on her J-Ruler side, because she loses the ability for Grim, so this is just good for mana fixing. And then the rest is just 7 basic Windstones, because the deck's primarily green. I don't run Grettles, just because it's not a positive chance of you hitting the stone, or hitting the right stone. I think it's pretty good how it is right now. I may do some more editing later, but... So, getting into the Resonators, you run 4 King Long. He is the super rare Sacred Beast. He is a 3-drop, 2 wind, 1 void for an 8/8 body. Whenever he enters the field, if I control another Sacred Beast, any other one, including himself, I draw a card. Or I can pay 1 to give all other Sacred Beasts +2/+2. I can only activate the effect once per turn. It's a really relevant card. Good for you to gain hand advantage, beef up your board. Your ideal time you want to drop this is either when you have the Regalia on turn 3 or turn 4. So, like after you already have mooks on board to start swinging. So he's very good. He's definitely one of the better Sacred Beasts. Next up we have for Zanwu, the turtle. Well then, there you go. He's a 3-drop, 5/7, 1 water, 2 void. Whenever he enters the field, you bounce a Resonator with converted will cost equal to the amount of Sacred Beasts you control. So you cast him. When there's 1 of him on board, you bounce 1. If there are 2, you bounce a 2-drop, 3, bounce a 3-drop, etc. He's really good. He gets problems out of the way. I don't know, he gets problems out of the way, and then you can just swing in afterwards with all the dudes you'll be having. So it's pretty good. Plus he's a 5/7, and under most buffs he'll be hard to kill, so he becomes a problem late game for people. Next up is probably one of the best Sacred Beasts. Is the most aggressive. is Zuko. Oh man, Zuko. He's a 2-drop 4/4, 1 fire, 1 void with swiftness, and whenever he enters the field, you can shoot something for 200 equals the amount of Sacred Beast you have on board. So he's really good. He's really almost as good as Hunter in the Black Forest, but I don't know. He's a fantastic card. He shoots off little things. Him and Percival are absolutely best friends. Because you can just kill them all. And then late game, if they have any big threats, you can just shoot them unless they're like a Yamada no Orochi or a Mephistopheles. Then it becomes a little bit challenging, but still very good card. Then the final Sacred Beast we run for the Bai Hu. He is the Tiger. He's a 3-drop light 6/6. He's a 1 light and 2 void for Sacred Beast with target attack, and whenever he enters the field, for every Sacred Beast you control, you gain 200 life. So, late game, he's fairly good. He can get you back into the game while creating board presence, and just having a really decent bodied target attacker to pick off little guys and just annoying things and whatnot. So that's all the Sacred Beasts. You run forward everything. Some people think it's a little slow or not consistent, but I think it's perfectly fine. If worse comes to worse, you just J-activate for whatever you need, sadly, because we need a better search method, but all in due time. I run 2 of this guy. This guy's absolutely amazing. The Djinn, the Spirit of the Lamb. He's a 4-drop for 1,000, so you're paying 4 for a really good body. And then he has the enter bar of whenever he enters the field, you remove from play 3 Resonators, and then during the end phase, you return them back. So your ideal play will be to get any one of these out on board, and you'll bring them in, banish whichever ones you need, and then you can shoot something for 2, gain 6, bounce a 3-drop, or just like shoot something for 2, gain 4, draw a card, or even shoot something for 2, draw a card, gain 6. Like there's so many combos that you can do with him. It also leaves you blockers up for the next turn if your opponent's a very aggressive player, and you can just keep dropping things. It's very good. Very good card. And the last up for the Resonators. It's 20 Resonators, by the way. We run Behemoth, the Earth Eater. He's a new card out of SKL. He's a game ender for green that green is definitely needed for a long time. He's a 5-drop for a 15/15, and whenever he's attacking, or when he attacks, he's an Ame no Habakiri, which is very powerful, very annoying for people to deal with. The fact that he's a 15/15 body, they either have to waste a Stoning, 3 Thunders, 2 Flames of the Outer World, or a Endless Night in order to kill him. So it's a little difficult to kill him just straight out, unless you run like things like Soul Hunt, but I can choose not to sacrifice him for that. But anyways, next up into the spells, we have for the Regalia. This is the only Regalia we run in this deck, not like that 28 Regalia bullcrap. Taps produce a void, can only be spent for 4 Sacred Beast cards. So very good. It turns all of them into a draw plus. It's very good. It's a 0-drop mana dork essentially for the deck. You can tap it, give your J-Ruler +2/+2. If your J-Ruler is Pricia, she gains imperishable until the end of turn. So if you have multiples of these, you can stack the effect, give her imperishable, make her really beefy, and then just swing over if she gains flying. And then the other effect is that you can banish it to Xeex back your target player's graveyard, which is very good. It's good against Wizard. It's just good to come back in the game if you need more resources to go through. It also shovels itself back in, which was the problem with Xeex, because you would go to cast it, it would resolve, and then it would go to grave, where this, you banish it, send everything back if you're targeting your graveyard. So, very good card. Speaking of which, we run 4 Xeex. It does everything, honestly. Shovels graveyards, pumps everything by 2, makes something untargetable by normal spells and counters. Summon spells. It's just a powerful card. Just definitely one of the best green cards ever, without a doubt. I'm running Keen Sense instead of Cake Zone, mostly because I'm not running the Grettles, but just the fact that it does what a Cake Zone needs to do, and it can pop spell chant standbys, which is always good against Wizard or just Kaguya decks, because you never know what you'll find. I run 4 the Rapid Growth. I don't know how I feel about this card. Like, if my opponent's running a discard strategy, this is usually one of the first things to get discarded because you can just remnant it back and just pump for 4. It can be a game ender at times, but it's... I still don't know how I feel about it. I don't know whether I want to keep it or cut the numbers of it, but it's still a very good card. And then, rounding up the deck, you have 2 Sprint of the Beast Lady. J Resonators you control get +6/+6 till the end of turn. Just a very big game ender, makes everything beefy as hell. Just something that they can't deal with. And then the last one is Sissei, the Ancient Forest. Beast and Forsaker Beasts get +2/+2. So with all the buffs, they become ridiculously big fairly quick. And then whenever a Resonator you control is put into the graveyard, you can pay 2 Wind and a Void to draw a card. So it's another way of drawing that's built into the deck. It's okay. You really just use it to make all your Forsaker Beasts a lot bigger and just start swinging.
Is there anything you would change to the deck besides the rapid growth that you said you might cut? Is there anything else you wish you could add in, or anything like that?
There are tons of things I want to add in. Cause like I've been thinking about Percival's just so I can get the Regalia faster. I've been thinking about going from mono green to another color. There are so many ways you can take this deck. It's ridiculous. It's almost, you literally almost have so many combinations as like a Grim deck does when it comes to making this, because you can have your Mana Stones be whatever you want. You could run almost anything. But this was just like the first build I found. I found it on the Italian page actually. So I ran it, and so far it's been doing relatively well. I can't really say it doesn't have that many bad matchups, but it's definitely... It has really good matchups against a lot of things. So I think it's going to be a very relevant deck. I'm hoping we get more support. That's me being optimistic and a little biased. I really like this deck a lot. So I can't really say much on that note. But yeah, no, like I just thought light for Percival's. I thought red for more removal. I thought black for the same thing, or just like really deadly things. I thought blue for draw power. Like there's enough things in the deck that it's missing, but you can't really go into many other routes without cutting too many cards, and it's just really ridiculous. So
Alright, well, that's it, guys. That was Adam's Pricia deck. Make sure you comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Link to our Facebook page will be down in the description below. Again, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching.